Welcome to WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. Well, your old pal Jake has had to spend the week doing gig work. When you wield a microphone for a living, sometimes that's what you got to do. That means I've been recording an audiobook, which is it's been a blast, but I'll tell you, it's taken me away from doing the live show, and I apologize for that. Hopefully one day this thing will be self-sustaining, but until then, from time to time, your old pal Jake's going to have to take the occasional gig. But look, there was way too much interesting news not to do a couple of shows for you this week. So let's talk about thing number one. Donald Trump found liable in a civil rape case in New York. Ooh, you just love to see it. And of course, at the same time, CNN has decided to host a town hall with Donald Trump. And it was as disastrous as you would imagine. If this starts to seem overwhelming, if this starts to seem like the world has just become too monstrous to deal with, let me remind you, other people can see the same things you can. They don't necessarily see them, but they can see them. In this world, in this situation we find ourselves in, the winning strategy will be to ensure that the truth is heard more often than the lies. That, for you, is going to mean learning the truth and stopping the lies. Right now, we have a huge opportunity to stop the lies. CNN has shown that they are going to try to be the new Pravda. They're going to try to replace Fox. They're going to be a competing right-wing propaganda organization. That's their plan. Okay? Now you know where a major source of lies is going to come from. So I'm not going to be showing CNN on here. Just like I'm loath to show Fox News unless we are specifically trying to draw out Fox watchers and make them face the nonsense that they consume, make them read the package on the nutrition information on the side of their choice of media consumption. I'm not going to give Caitlin whatever the hell more credit for being on CNN. I'm not going to give CNN more clicks. I'm not even going to risk it. Instead, I would like our good pal, Bo of the Fifth Column, to tell you a little bit about how that town hall went.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about Trump on CNN. To be honest, this wasn't something I was going to talk about because frankly, I didn't see the need to cover a CNN-sponsored infomercial for Trump, but lots of questions about it. So before this happened, pretty much everybody was like, yeah, this is a horrible idea. CNN shouldn't be doing this. They did it anyway. Yeah, it was a horrible idea. They shouldn't have done that. They lost control of it almost immediately. They tried to run a soft interview with Trump, which was just a horrible idea. And things went downhill. That's what the coverage is on. I mean, that is pretty much all of the coverage. And I get it. That's what people are mad about. That's where the outrage is directed. They're mad at CNN.
Yeah, they're mad at CNN for damning us all with ignorance. That's what they're angry about. And they're right to be angry. And I think Bo makes a great point coming up. We're going to get to it, but let's pause there for a second. There's already a what you can do because this is a multifaceted situation that's just happened. It's been a busy week. Trump's done a lot of illegal and immoral things. They're right to be angry. If you have loved ones who watch CNN, make sure they know it's under new leadership. It is now under conservative leadership. And understand that they are trying, or make sure the person you are talking to understands that it is the plan of CNN to lie to their audience, to do a poor job of questioning Republican politicians in order to attract a Republican audience. That's what they're doing. So, if the person is watching CNN, they are poorly informed. That is the takeaway. You don't have to memorize a massive list of facts. Yes, on this channel, we're going to go over them, by all means. But don't take that to mean that you need to memorize every little detail about CNN. For example, the fact that the person that they had to the person they had do this town hall, run it. This 31-year-old Caitlin, I don't even care. She formerly worked for a far-right extremist propaganda outlet. That's where she worked for. You don't need to memorize this stuff. What you need to remember is that CNN has now thoroughly fallen into the category of not worth watching. It is a detriment to watch it. You are less informed when you watch CNN. Just like it was discovered, people are literally less informed when they watch Fox News. They don't understand how the world works. Truly, someone who gets their news from Fox has been demonstrated to have a worse grasp of reality, a worse grasp of the events going on than somebody who literally watches no news at all, reads no news at all, does nothing to follow current events. Somebody in total ignorance is better informed than the misinformed. So, if somebody likes to watch the news and they like to be an informed person, make sure that they don't get credit for being an informed person by watching CNN. That's your goal. In other words, we're going to hurt CNN, rightly so, as they deserve to be, for dishonoring themselves. All right, let's see what Bo had to say about this, though. He has a very good point.
CNN for doing this. But it's kind of skewing people. That's all they're focused on. The thing is, there's something we can learn from this. We got a glimpse of Trump's campaign, of what he actually plans on running on. And the new Trump, same as the old Trump. Same as the old Trump. Rigged. He's going to lean into that. He thinks that that's his ticket in.
Okay. Yeah, let's do some dignity there. All right, there we go. So listen. Trump tried a coup. We're waiting for the courts. We're waiting for the justice system to catch up. But let's not pretend like that didn't happen. That absolutely, 100% did happen. I'm not even going to talk about trying to convince somebody that is looking for an excuse to still vote for Trump. At least don't try to convince them to go vote for the Democrat. No, why bother? They're so misinformed. They're so willfully ignorant that you're wasting your energy to try to sway them to the side of good. No. But knowing that they are not a good person, knowing that they enjoy the suffering of others at a minimum, then use that. Let me take that back. I said enjoy the suffering of others at a minimum. Not so. At a minimum, they believe that the suffering of others is necessary for their own happiness. That's at a minimum what they believe. Nobody who's going for Trump has made the case that I've heard that everyone will be taken care of under a right-wing authoritarian, yada, yada, yada. No, they just make the case that they require the suffering of others for some silly reason. Convince them not to vote. Do they enjoy living in America, the world's foremost, until about 10 years ago, democracy in the public's eye? Do they enjoy living in that place? Well, they won't get to if Trump gets reelected. That's done. Trump tried a coup. Trump is sticking by the coup talking points, and he'll try another coup if he loses. God help us if he does get elected. He'll try to stay in power. He will not let it go. We have no evidence that Trump would do anything decent at any point in his life. And if he were presented with a situation that was totally neutral, where he could flip a switch and kill 30 people or leave the switch alone, and nothing would happen, and either way, he would gain or lose nothing, he would flip the switch. Just because. That's who Donald Trump is. Carry that in your heart. Remember that truth. Slam them with that. You like a democracy? You like things not being decided with chains and knives? Well, fella, don't you dare support Trump. Don't put out signs. Don't give him your money. Don't vote for him. As for everybody else, make it crystal clear. We need a blue House. We need a blue Senate. We need a blue White House. We need this because our justice system is inadequate, and we need to start fixing it. We cannot fix it unless Democrats hold absolute power, and then their constituents insist. That is what's necessary to fix this problem. Bo's got one more point to make. Let's listen to it.
And it's not. Only 63% of Republican and Republican-leaning people believe that. You can't win with that. You cannot win with that. If he campaigns on it was rigged, he is going to lose. He's going to lose. This is a very partisan topic. It should be something that is near 100%. If he's hoping to win, as polarized as this country is, running on it was rigged, it's not going to do it.
No, it is not. But look, there's something else here. I agree. That's not a winning strategy. But nonetheless, we have to pay attention to it. We have to use that. 60 cases. Anybody saying that it was rigged, ask them how. How would you prove this? Would you take it to court? How should it be proved? Would you take it to court? Trump lost 60 cases in court. He could not prove in a court of law that the election was rigged. And he was in power. So if you put him back in power, what's he going to do? How has he proposed fixing this? You ask those questions and make them face the answers. That's if you're bothering to talk. Frankly, the people who still support Trump, if you're talking to them, you are doing a public service. You're going above and beyond because they are not worth your time. We invite people here all the time, certainly, in order to try to break into that echo chamber, to inject poison into it by showing them reality. And they will take that poison, that knowledge of what is actually happening in the world they live in, that tiny bit of wokeness that we force, they'll take that back and eliminate a bunch of Trump votes. Good. But for the majority of your effort, don't waste it arguing with madness. Don't waste it arguing with dishonesty. You got $5, give it to the DSA. If you don't have $5, make a couple of phone calls for the farthest left political organization you can find. I recommend the DSA. I think that's the way to go, generally speaking. But our goal here needs to be force. You can have nonviolent force, and that's what I advocate for. Is, in other words, not negotiating, but taking. We need to take the House, Senate, and White House. It is an unfair fight. We are gerrymandered against. But fortunately, just like good times make weak people, which leads to bad times, gerrymandered districts leads to weak politicians, which makes it easier to ungerrymander the districts. These MAGA fools are so incompetent, are so loathsome to everything that a decent society holds as important, that we can win in surprising districts. Support people in the primaries. Vote as far left as you can in the primaries. And take heart in the fact that more and more people are seeing the truth. Trump had to discuss a civil rape case that was ruled against him in a town hall. And yeah, his supporters did their normal thing. They laughed at a victim of his. They made fools of themselves. They shamed themselves. They shamed us. By being there and supporting this monster. However, the whole world saw it. A lot of people are going to be swayed by that. And ask yourself, do you think more people are going to be swayed into believing that yet another court ruled against Trump for fun, for a political agenda? Or are more people going to think Trump is a rapist? Repeat the truth more often than the lies get repeated. Trump is a rapist. Make sure people know. Depress the far right vote. Depress the center right vote. Stop people from watching CNN at every opportunity you get. Make fun of people for watching CNN. Make fun of people, certainly, for watching Fox. Do not allow them the social credit for being informed if that's what they say they watch. Don't allow it. They don't get it. They're misinformed. They're wearing dunce caps. And go as far left as you can in the primaries. We need fighters in 2024. We don't need another generation of Feinsteins and Schumers and Pelosi's. No. We need a whole generation full of Bernie Sanders's, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's, Pramila Jayapal's. That's who we need. So give us the ammunition. Go as far left as you can in the primaries. going to get uglier before it gets better, but it will get better.